We'll like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time where the passport bros. We'll like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time where the passport bros. We'll like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time where the passport bros will like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time where the passport show. Whew, what is going on, brothers? Hope you're having a great holiday. We're also on holiday too over here in the UK. I think you are also in America. Is that right, Theo?
Yeah, that's right. We have Memorial Day here in the States. So, of course, remembering family members who fell in battle serving the country. So, yeah, it's a kind of a sad day. I had friends who died in the wars as well. So, yep. How about you? What were you celebrating today?
Just a normal bank holiday, bro. By law, so just a day off. We get
Dang.
we get like 5 a year, so I'm enjoying it. Feel just relaxing and chilling out and experiencing that passport bro vision, bro. You know.
I wish we had that. Hey, go out and spend your money on Western women so they can take it from you. There you go. Government order. Government ordered. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay, gotcha.
You
So
wish, you wish, bro.
that's what the government's saying to do. So you had a responsibility to take some cute girl to Kensington Park and spend all of your money on her and simp for her. That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. That's that's why the government, guess why Parliament gave you a day off, right? Okay.
Hey, welcome back, Theo. So, audio is good, brothers. Press
Yeah.
A1 in the Zoom chat. Ozzy says so visionary. That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, okay, so special announcement. I have just finished my Python course, and I want to say huge shout out to my former Python students, hardworking geniuses, intelligent brothers. It has been an awesome time teaching them from February to now. I'm so proud of them. So I'll be taking in new people, new students in most likely July this year. Okay. So if you want to be in my next Python class, my Python course, if you want to change your life and kickstart that IT process for remote working opportunities, etc., and of course, living that passport bro lifestyle, I will see you in July 2024 on my new batch of Python students. So let's get straight into it. Okay, let's get straight into it. So
Mhm.
maybe a quiet night tonight is a holiday. So
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't
oh,
be
hold
that
on.
quiet. Go ahead.
Is my audio good?
Yeah, your audio's good. We hear you.
Okay. Um, let me just double check. Sorry, bro. Hold on. Give me 1 second, please.
Keisha's listening to you. It's the wiretap. Keisha's listening to IP. He has to go hide right now because he's gonna, you know, Keisha got that fish and chips, knows where he is, taking over. Everybody pray for IP. So he was really devoted, working, teaching Python, teaching you guys how to be really good engineers. Keisha was not happy that he didn't spend all of his money on her today and simp for her, and now he's having problems. So we gotta hope for the best for IP here. This is a problem. Anyway, guys, glad you are here in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you had a relaxing day off.
I'll put it to myself.
There you go. Got some people saying too, wow, people are really vacationing today. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's like people are busy, but the show must go on, feel. So, in today's show, brothers, okay, we're gonna break down the topic called having daughters. Men are scared of having daughters. the fear of having a daughter and the college problem. Okay, so what does that mean? So I'm sure some of you guys who are aspiring passport bros, who are current passport bros, you want to have children. Some of you, I'm not saying all of you are, but some of y'all want to have children. Okay, and obviously when you have a child, it's either a boy or a girl. Okay, and that would be your son or your daughter. Now, a lot of men, okay, um, are scared to have a daughter. Now, I'll be honest with you, right? The ideal scenario for a dude is to have all sons, three sons, four sons, grow up to become, scientists, if they're 6'9", NBA players dominating, the NBA. That's the dream. But in this life, you don't get everything you want, right? So some of y'all will have daughters, okay? But there's a fear of having a daughter because we currently live in a world where, and particularly in the West, right? We live in the West where women are becoming brainwashed and manipulated by the powers that be. Okay. And most of this brainwashing comes from college. Okay. That's where things go wrong, things go wayward. Now, before I touch upon different topics, and me and Theo do so, right? I want to give a very personal example here. Okay. So over here in the UK, I know someone. Okay. And his daughter went to university. Okay. And obviously I've met her. I'm close to family, etc., etc. I thought she was, a decent lady, intelligent, on her way to do great things. Right. She comes back from university. She's a complete different person. Oh, I don't like men. Men are trash, blah, 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 you know? And she has, kind of turned against her dad. And I know her dad very well. He's a great guy, hardworking. He raised her very well. But the brainwashing through colleges, which we will touch upon further, you know, um, is a concern in the West. Okay, so the agenda here is to break down the problems of having a daughter, okay, and how we as passport bros can prepare for this particular issue, okay, should it happen, okay. So let's get straight into it. So the first point here that I want to mention, okay, as to why men fear having a daughter in 2024, okay, is social media, okay. Social media, okay, is a problem when it comes to the mindset of a woman. Okay. They see different lifestyles on there. They see different messages on there. How they should be a woman. How they should approach men, dates, ask a guy for a Gucci bag or taking her everywhere. There's a lot of social media influences that, are ruining future daughters. Theo, do you want to touch upon that, Theo, that particular point when it comes to social media and women?
Yeah, I again, I agree with you on this point. So I just want to say my own point. I would love to have a daughter. So I actually want to have at least two. I like to have 4 kids, and I would like to have 2 daughters, 2 sons, and I want my daughters to have a sister. That's kind of a fun thing for me. And I personally have thought about this quite a lot about what I would do with the daughters. Particularly if, like, let's say I'm raising the kids in Japan or I'm raising in Colombia or Brazil, and how do I deal with university? Now, social media, this would be something I would be on very aggressively, and I would be monitoring what she's doing and how she is interacting with people online, particularly as long as she's in my house. And I would explain to them that this isn't a controlling thing, this is for their own protection. And there's a lot of guys out there who are out there to do real damage. And I, as the father, am making sure that I can keep them safe for as long as I possibly can. Of course, once they leave the house, who knows what can happen, but I will give them as much of a guardrail as I possibly can. Social media, um, if if the children are not raised correctly, then the woman, particularly in the West, has this whack view of her own beauty. And I think this is one of the beginning of the downfall of her own downfall in the West. She should take pride in who she is, but not think she's a 10. And what I see with Western women is that they vacillate between thinking that they're 10s and thinking that they're ugly. And they just kind of go back. It's like extremism between the two. And I would, if I have daughters, I would tell them, I want you to be happy as a 6. That's it. I want you to be a happy 6. And as long as you're educated, happy 6 who's confident in yourself, I think you're fine. And then I also teach them on social media, don't put any photos of yourself. As you guys know, my Facebook profile, my social media profile, I rarely have a photo of myself on there. I say, take a photo of something else if you want, but don't take a photo of yourself. And in that way, it's less likely that they will engage in narcissistic behavior. So that's a little bit on my side.
But I think the problem for me, right, when it comes to social media and daughters, right, is the messaging, the lifestyles they see from women of their peer groups. So they're seeing, their female friends, have rich boyfriends or traveling all around the world. And brother Theo, they're seeing some chicks getting flown to Dubai. I mean, we know what happens in Dubai when some women go out there, Theo, keeping it stacked right, and they come back home with a load of cash. So they're seeing a lifestyle that women are living. Some women are living, buying expensive bags, and not only that, Theo, but the messaging: men are trash. Men don't do this, men don't do that, men do this, men do that, Theo. And Theo, that kind of messaging can creep in, brother, in when it comes to social media. And brother Theo, future dads are scared of that. Current dads are fearful of that particular matter, Theo. What's your thoughts there, brother?
It's like what I told my students, and my students were having problems with their friend group, doing CompTIA, and they were confused about what they should do. And I told my students, I said, get better friends, get rid of your current friend group and go get a better one. Yeah, I'm brutal in that way. This is just the way it is. So what you're describing are Western daughters, a Western issue. You don't have people being flown out from Dubai, from Japan. That crap ain't happening. Now, Colombia, Brazil, unlikely. Could happen, but it's unlikely. So this would be very simple. I would have my children being raised abroad, not in the West. And in particular for this reason, to make sure that they don't have this kind of, they're thinking that this kind of lifestyle is normal. And then also while they are growing up, I would be having them do community service and with me, and I would be having them look at poor people, like really poor people, so they would always understand what they have and be humble about it and appreciate it. If that happens, then it's unlikely that they're going to be thinking about a delusional level of living that's extravagant and nutty. I just straight out say that's nuts. So that's how I would do it on there. I'd be rather aggressive. Again, if I had let's say again, my kids, they would never set foot in a Western public school system or private school system. Ain't gonna happen. Nope, it'd be abroad.
Facts, bro. Absolute facts, Phil. So that's the first point there that men are worried about. That's that particular social media matter issue, brother. The next point, Phil, right, that makes men fearful of having a daughter in 2024 is black culture. Now, I'm a black man, you're a black man, Phil. So when we have our future kids, they're going to be black. They're going to be whether fully black or half black, but they will still have black blood in them, Phil. Now, brother Phil, let's keep it 100, please, brother. Let's keep it real, okay, Theo? Black culture is extremely popular right now in 2024. It is worldwide. We know it's in Japan. We know it's in Australia. We know it's in even some parts of the Middle East, brother, okay? Black culture is so strong, powerful, and potent. Now, black culture in 2024, as a black man, brothers, it is terrible. It is horrible. We're seeing people like Sexy Red come out. Cardi B, Megan the Foot rapper, all these bad influences that Black women are looking up to, and portraying themselves as these kind of women. Okay, so again, we're seeing Black culture where women say that they won't date a 9 to 5 guy. We're seeing a Black culture where there's an excessive use of the N word. Okay, there's a culture where some dudes who are rappers rap about killing their own people, brother. Okay, and in Black culture, feel rebellion is very popular. Rebelling against your parents, against cultural norms in the family field. So, brother, our Black daughters, if we're gonna have it in the future, right, will be seeing Black culture feel, and it could, brother, uh, uh, you know, disrupt them and ruin them for the worst feel. What's your thoughts about that, brother? Black culture and having a daughter in 2024.
I wouldn't worry that much about it, to be honest. Make sure that you're the mother of your children is not a Western Black woman.
Ooh.
So that just knock it out right there. So then that's first point, because the culture would come in through here. So just nip it in the bud. If I, for example, if the mother of my children is Japanese, they got pure Japanese culture coming in. There's going to even be very little Western culture. It's going to be pure Japanese, because of course I'd be raising my kids in Japan without a doubt, and they would be going to a Japanese private school. So any kind of bad influence like that would just be nipped in the bud. It's not going to happen. Not going to come in. Not going to be tolerated. And they would have a very strong Japanese foundational mindset and thought from the beginning. So even if I were really concerned, I would eliminate English. I would just speak to them in Japanese myself.
Ooh.
Yeah. You say you're not going to have the language coming in. You can't get it. Ain't going to happen. So I would teach them like English later on, but I would say you are Japanese. This is what's going to happen. Then what I would do is later on I would introduce Black culture, or during the education I would bring in the best parts of Black culture into them and reinforce it as a very positive influence. But I would not tell them anything about the bad elements of Western culture, Western Black culture at all. So I would take them, like, to be honest, I would, to reinforce their Black identity, I would take them to Salvador, Brazil, Tanzania, Ethiopia, Kenya, and say, yeah, this is what Black is. There it is. And what you're seeing in other places is gutter. And that would be it. Be done. Then they would have a Black culture. They would have it'd be based upon Africa, or like outside the West, but it'd be based on authentic Black culture. And they wouldn't be any bit ratchet at all. I've seen some people do this successfully. Seen some Black families abroad do this kind of technique, and also in Korea they did this. I've seen guys do this, and it's very effective. So it's they're not going to be going around doing rap stuff like that, because if they do it, they start acting like hoodlums. The parents are both on the kid, so is the school system. So yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
But that's a great point there, Theo, right? And I know, as Black men saying this, this might sound a bit, okay, why are two Black men so against Black culture? It's not that we're against Black culture, but we are against specific parts of Black culture. It is not a good look, right? Where, Black culture is toxic in 2024, okay? Divisive, no direction, a whole bunch of nonsense. And women are very what's the word for it? They're very malleable. Is that the word for it? So they see a lot of things, right, and they want to emulate what's popular. Okay, that's why we see a lot of Western Black chicks in 2024 behave like Nicki Minaj, behave like Cardi B, right? Behave like Ruby Red. Do you want your daughter to be like Ruby Red? And Ruby, is it Ruby Red? Something Ruby Rose?
Sexy Red.
But no, there's another one called Ruby something, brother. She's dating some guy called Drewski. I don't know what.
We don't want that either,
Brother. So I was reading her background, right, like her bio, right. She was, if I'm not mistaken, brother, a Muslim chick that came from a Ruby Rose, that came from a good family, brother, and she went from that into a over sexualized rapper, Theo. You know, that's why I'm saying, Theo, black culture is poison in 2024 to the point where it is ruining black daughters in the West, Theo. And that's what we're scared about, Theo, bro. And brother, that ties into social media. We see the Instagram reels, the Twitter videos of women doing crazy things for black culture. How do we, defend against that, Theo? Black culture being pushed through social media.
Well, think of it like this, guys. Everyone you just mentioned, I've never seen their photo before. I only know a little bit about them because they're actually spoken within the manosphere. So all of that, it never has reached my shore. And that's because I have a firewall, a cultural firewall, and I don't allow crap to come in. It's very basic. So regarding your Instagram, that'd be even easier. So all you would do is inside the house, okay, first thing, you have parental control with the device itself, so they can't install applications. They actually have to ask the parents. And then inside the house, I would have cellular service disabled, and they can only access via Wi-Fi. And then I would go into the firewall for the house and prevent Instagram from actually coming down to the house. Problem solved. I would also do that with Facebook. So you're not going to have Facebook. You're not going to have Instagram until you're 18. And I'm sure my kids would hate me. I wouldn't care, because in Japan, their social media that they usually use is called Mixi. And on Mixi, they don't do that crap. So I would let them use Mixi all day long. I know what Mixi is. I've used it before. It's very good. I have no problems with it. So I would give them alternatives where they could actually operate and say, this is where you can do things, this is where you can't. And if they were listening to this or that influence, I would say that crap doesn't happen here in this house, that we're not going to tolerate it. Make sure the mother knows. The mother goes crazy on the kid. That's it. Done. So I guarantee you, my house, again, although I might live in 2020s, 2030s, 2040s, my house is going to be like 1940s, 1950s. It's going to be a time jump once you go inside. I'm like, you don't put that crap here. That's not going to happen. So it is what it is.
Awesome, brother. So how do you prevent your daughter from downloading Instagram outside of the household?
So you still have the
data.
You have the parental control on there. So there are some other things that she could possibly do outside, but remember, there's always going to be a trace. And then when she comes back in the house, I'd be able to figure out what the trace is. Then we have a conversation with the daughter. It's like, oh, you access something I told you not to access. You want to get around the firewall. Well, that was smart. Okay. No phone. Bye. That's done. Now you don't have a phone for a while. 1 month, no phone. I would be really strict on this. Again, just no toleration at all. I've talked about these topics with Angelica, actually. She and I have had many conversations about this. And she definitely agrees. She's like, I don't want, there's a lot of Russian and Ukrainian crap that she does not want children to actually be exposed to, particularly regarding narcotics. And she's like, yep, not going to happen in the house now. So regarding the possibility for children there, same thing. There would be the children would not have any access to that kind of media or influence.
But I'd also say, reading through her history, or obviously her weblogs, right, to make sure that she's not if she searches for certain things, okay, what's going on there? Have a talk with her, listen, blah, 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 blah. I think it's very important you see what she's doing for her internet history, brother, as parents, because that's when you can come in, cut the BS, let her know that dad and mom ain't happy. Don't do that. Stay focused. When you say about that, that's a great idea too.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can give them less permissions. So you're a root, so you'd have the root permissions, right, for your phone, and then you can put a script on there for the history to be uploaded to a cloud like drive, like an S3, and then even if the child erased the log from the phone, they wouldn't be able to erase it from the cloud. And then from there, the father could just look at the cloud logs to see what the daughter has done.
Awesome, awesome, bro, fantastic. So, so next point here I want to talk about, Theo, is college. Okay, college is, in my opinion, the most impactful factor in a woman's life. If I'm being honest with you, brothers. So you've had your daughter, you've raised her through high school. She's your princess, she's your baby girl. She loves you, you love her. We've all seen that happy ending, sorry, happy story, okay, before you send her off to university, okay? So your daughter goes to Arizona State University, or let's say, UCLA, okay? And we know what gets down at these universities, particularly if she's on campus all by herself. She has her own room, okay? She's unfortunately missing them with the wrong crowd. She's all by herself, no parents around her. That is where the brainwashing and poisoning seeps in. So let me break it down for you, brothers, right? Feminism. Feminism is taught in every major college campus. You're not there to advise her on that. She's got lecturers who are her seniors. They're pushing feminism through her throat. She's got bad friends around her, friends that will encourage her to sleep around, jump from that guy to that guy to this guy to that guy. You're not there to advise her. She's all alone for those 4 years on a college campus. That is a long time, brothers. Okay. Number 3. Okay. Liberal brainwashing. Liberal brainwashing, rainbow stuff, gender stuff. All this stuff, right, is coming from the campuses. Okay, so you're seeing women that you sent over to university, to college. They were perfectly normal. They come out after 4 years. They're a complete different person. Let me add for you, right? The man-hating ideologies on these college campus. Men are trash. Men are responsible for this, for that, for that, for that. So your daughter comes back home and suddenly, Theo, she hates you. You're thinking, I gave you food, I gave you water, I paid for everything in your life. And you coming home saying you hate men, you hate me, the patriarchy, you oppress mom. I have seen this in the UK, Theo, bro. Theo, that's why dudes don't want a daughter in 2024, Theo. It's too much effort going on, brothers, to control the woman in your life, Theo. Break it down for us, Theo. What's your thoughts there?
Well, it goes down to the idea of you don't educate the daughter in the West. So then when your daughter wants to go to university, you say, I'll pay for your education, but I won't pay for it in the West. That's so she wants to go to Arizona State, she can, but she has to pay for it on her own. But if she wants to go to Meiji University or Waseda, that's free. And she can make that decision on her own. I would say most daughters would rather just stay where they are with her friend group and not go abroad, and that's how you solve that problem straight out. And that's just the easiest way of doing it. Now, I mean, there is some degree, people are talking. I can see somebody saying this: you can't control this or can't control that. That's actually very true, because on campuses in Japan, you've got issues as well, but they're not as severe. So, this is how I would deal with that. Just straight up, and just say, I'll pay for your university here in Japan, but not in the United States, not in the UK. It could happen. Not in. Well, maybe they do a travel abroad to France. I don't mind that, because that's what I did. So that's okay. But probably UK. No, that kind of.
Brother, I'm gonna tell you this fact for you, right? I don't want my daughter on a college campus in any country, bro. I'll be real with you. I would prefer if she goes from home to university. which is quite common in Japan. Feel many people go from university from home. It may be an hour trip by train, by bus. I would prefer that feel. I don't think women, right, should be all alone on a college campus, regardless of any country. Feel right. It's just too risky. Feel you're not there. You don't know what she's doing, what she's wearing, what she's engaging in. Feel she's lying to you behind your back, brother. I have heard and seen crazy things. Feel, bro, at universities, brother. I can't take it, brother. I can't do it, brother. She can't be on campus, bro. Right?
For
What's
me,
your
I
thoughts?
don't mind that as long as it's in a foreign country or it's not in the West. I don't have a problem with that. I'm well aware of what happens in the dormitories in Japan because I was in the dormitories in Japan. I was talking to people there. I was actually there. I don't have an issue with it. I don't mind. Of course, there's going to be a day in which, of course, the daughter is exploring her sexuality, and I applaud that because if I want grandchildren, she needs to do something. But at the same time, I'll have enough confidence in her to make her own decisions regarding that. But at the same time, I wouldn't have her in certain environments in the first place. So I wouldn't have her in the West. I wouldn't have her in the UK, in America, Canada. So we're talking about like universities like Korea, China, Philippines, Japan. Well, there's not going to be any feminism like this. This ain't going to happen. That's not the way they go down. Ain't going to happen. And gender stuff, well, it's man, woman. That's it. I mean, they might have some different things talking about some other things, but it would be something kind of like esoteric over to the side. That's kind of cute, but not a main part of their education. And people are going to be preparing to go into the workforce. That's what the real goal is going to be, not, you know, how many videos she can currently make this month or how much revenue she can get or going to Dubai. They ain't going to happen. So again, you can put some structure into it, but ultimately she is going to be in university. She is going to have, she's going to become 22 years old. And if you're too conservative, if you're too strict on her, then if she becomes 22 years old and leaves university, you can't stop if she literally not only opens up her own content online, but then also sells content to a production studio and then gets ran through by who knows how many people. And there are stories of women doing this because they come from a conservative environment. So you can't go too strong on there. You have to have some degree of trust that the daughter will make the right decision, or that she will learn, or at least that she won't go crazy out there. And I would definitely have that degree of trust in her that she wouldn't do that.
Theo, and that goes on to my another point where it's very important you have a wife or girlfriend that is very much aligned in your philosophy of life. Because if your girlfriend or wife, right, thinks differently from you, more liberal, doesn't agree with how you do things, the daughter, Theo, as we know, women always side with other women. Okay, she is going to side with her mum and follow her mum's way of life. Okay, and there'll be problems there, Theo. So for her to behave herself at university on campus, the mum must also, right, clamp that hammer down and be aligned with your ideas and philosophy in the right field. It's very important.
Some degree, I would say that yeah, they usually, particularly Asian daughters, tend to go along with the mother. But there's not as much. I would say like a lot of Western mothers say things to their daughter to just like destroy them. They lead them down a path that will never be good, and you don't really have that with Asian daughters and mothers. So I would, yeah, I would again, if the mother is Japanese, I would definitely trust that situation.
Great point by Inspired Victory. Having studied remote from home, I agree. Obviously, for the universities are now going online, right? Many universities it's online right now. I think that's also a great option as well. Do it
Hold
online.
on,
Do your degree online.
hold on, hold
Actually,
on, God. inspired victory, what we're talking about here is that we've already left the West, and you've raised the children in another country. So going overseas would be America, the UK, right? So you're living abroad. You do not want to be raising your child in the West. That's a big point. If you do that, you've lost. So children are not raised in the West. So then, if your child is, and your daughter is going through the educational system in another country, again, we're using Japan as an example, then if she were studying at home in that situation, that would be rather restrictive. It would be better for her to be on campus and actually engaging and socialize with other Japanese people, of course, in class, which is what I would want. And then you just have to keep an eye out, make sure she's not making any content, or that she just has like a small part-time job, something like that, something kind of normal. But most Japanese girls in university, I know because I was there, I saw them, most of them are rather innocent during university, and they're just having like a little fun. That's it. They're going social groups and they just want to look cute in their outfit. That's about it. They're not really career driven. They're not going around saying that, like, I'm a woman, I can do anything, I don't need a man. No, they don't say that kind of crap. Nah, man. They're trying to be with the group. They're trying to have a good life, a good long life. And that's where you want to be. So the West, you want the West to be a foreign country. Kind of like how Japan is foreign to you. The West should be foreign to her to that degree.
Okay. Okay. So next point here, Theo, right, is peer pressure. Okay. Women are very susceptible, Theo, to peer pressure. Okay. Even more so than men. I'm not saying men aren't or boys aren't, but when it's women, peer pressure, particularly amongst other females, there's a requirement for them to look very pretty or do this like your friends are doing, or do that on TV, do that in the music field. And peer pressure, or even smoke or do some substances feel. Obviously, feel I've seen it in real time. I've seen women, who are in my classes, right? Innocent chicks, female friends are like, hey, try that, try this, try that. Now the women that I knew are, smoking 5, 6 a day. And they learned that from their friends, feel, you know? So having a daughter is pretty tough, feel, okay, particularly amongst peer pressure, beauty, makeup. I mean, brother, it's a lot of flipping work, feel. How can we, but when it comes to peer pressure, you know, how can we advise future daughters in regards to peer pressure? You know, friends, she's doing that, she's doing that. Why can't I do that? Break it down for us, Theo.
This is a normal problem that any son and daughter is going to have. Any, particularly with women, is going to be an issue. And the only way that you can possibly do that is by good rearing and having the daughter understand what she has and appreciate what she has. If that happens, then this coveting and envious position can be avoided. However, if she does not understand and appreciate what she has, then we're going to have this issue. So this is a bane for Western women, because no matter what they have, they want more, which is that's the way to misery. That's the road to misery. So again, one of the things I've always thought was take her to, like every summer, spend 2-3 weeks doing community work in the middle of nowhere where they don't have electricity, having them help build houses and things like that. I mean, really, like some really hardcore work, and show them what hard life is, and then they appreciate what they actually have. Without that kind of background, yeah, you could have a problem. It's going to be with the sons too, but with the daughters, it's going to be worse. It's going to be a nightmare. I do agree with this. So they have to learn to appreciate what they have and then to build upon it. I would say personally, from what I've seen so far, Colombian mothers are the best at this. They really teach a sense of graciousness within their daughters. and understanding what they have and then what they need to do in order to build a stronger family. Again, I'm just saying my own. I'm not saying that as a universal thing. I'm just saying from what I've seen so far, Colombian mothers are actually exceptionally good in this area.
Awesome. Okay, brother. Awesome. So, brother, next point, right, that men are worried about in regards to daughters is the possibility of your daughter turning against you. Okay. Um, that is very common in the West. Okay. I see it every day. I just see women wake up one day, they don't like their dads anymore. You know, they thought that can do better. He should be a millionaire. He should be a billionaire. Why can't he be like other men? Blah blah blah. And brother, it's very sad to see. You know, dads just look very sad, crying, upset. That what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? You know, and brother, a lot of women, a lot of daughters don't appreciate what their dads have done in the daughter's life. Feel keeping it real, you know. Um, feel no parent wants to deal with that situation, bro. For your own child turns against you over nonsense, bruv, over feminism, over being lied to, and it hurts dads a lot, particularly dads who have you know daughters who are daddy's girls. You know, feel. Um, what's your thoughts on that topic there, Theo?
This is something that every father is going to face, regardless of East versus West. And the best way of dealing with it is, again, first, loving your daughter and accepting her and being supportive to her as much as you possibly can while you're growing up. And then loving her even if she rejects you and goes against you. If this happens, at least you've done your role as a father. And if she goes off in a different path, you have to be prepared for this and to let her go and make that decision on her own.
Mhm.
That's it. That's why you want two daughters in case one goes down. You got to back up.
But if both goes down, I'd say adoption should be a possibility.
No,
You
no.
know,
Then your son marries a decent woman. Then you got a daughter-in-law through there.
okay,
love through there. That's how that one would work. They wouldn't adopt because then it could happen again. So you say, okay, like I've lost a certain amount of the kids. Okay, what I've done the best I could. You know, okay, now I have one kid who actually got married, making the kid the line is going through there. Okay, fine. So then you write the will to have all your assets go to that kid, and the other ones are like, hey, look, I did my best. You went on your own way, so hey, toodaloo. When my parents died, I didn't get anything. You didn't get anything either. It's a family tradition. What can I say?
well, brother, let's do we have to adopt a daughter, adopt another son? You know, adopt another. Think about it. Like, brother, I think
Yeah.
realistically, most men don't want daughters, bro. Keep it, bro. Even if you look at India and China, right? I read a stat the other day. Most of them just want sons, and I can see why. Feel having a daughter is a lot of work in
No,
2024.
it's
You know,
because in
sons.
China, hold on, in China, the son is responsible for taking care of the parents in old age. So the son is the retirement program, whereas the daughter doesn't have any responsibilities like that. So they want sons. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes. It's not about feminism or anything like that. It's more like who's going to take care of me when I'm 99 years old.
Mm,
So if the daughters had that responsibility to take care of the parents like that, then they would also want daughters the same degree. So I'm not so worried about that. That's okay. But again, when it comes to your kids, you have to accept the fact that some of them may not like you afterwards, even if you did your best. So you have
mm,
to think while you are raising your children, you have to think, what was your motivation? So was your motivation yourself or with the child? This is something I would ask my own parents. So with my mother, her motivation was her, not me. And I knew that when I was growing up. So I condemned her when I became an adult. My father, his motivation was more towards me. Later on in life, he kind of went towards himself as well, but for the most part, his motivation was me, and I knew that about him, so I loved and respected him because I knew what team he was on. But my mom, nah, man, I tossed her out the window basically. So you have to think about who you are as a parent. Are you there for the child, or is the child there for you? If you understand what your relationship is with your children and you can be humble about it and really love them to death, everything will work out in the end, as long as you put enough time and effort to it, and you're not trying to shag up some other chick someplace. You'll be fine. Just be confident. Again, I would say, like, get a dog. Dogs are family unifiers. And it's very hard to, like, you can justify not being with the kids, but it's hard to justify not being with the dog. So if you're there for the dog, then you're going to be definitely there for the kids as well.
Okay. No, a great point there, Theo. A great point. So, but do you have any things about concerns about having daughters before I run through solutions and we start writing some clips? Any issues you might have around having a daughter?
I would say not. I would not have a daughter in the West. And then additionally, look at her friends. And if her friends are ratchet, don't let them in. Just say, look, this is not going to happen. You're not going to be friends with that person. We're not associating. And if your child doesn't listen to you, remove the child from the school. Put them someplace else. You have got to go to that extreme. The friendships are probably going to be the biggest area of issue. But as long as, again, you have the proper background, if you're doing that, you're going to be okay. But it's work. We all know that's going to be work. But again, you can't have grandchildren unless she marries someone and gets ran through by him. And that's part of it. I mean, that's what you want. You want her to be crazy with some guy, make kids for you, and be satisfied, and actually be a proper woman. You have to trust her to make those right decisions, and that you have actually educated her and loved her and accepted her enough and directed her in the right direction so that she will make the right decision in the end. And that takes decades of work. It's not something you can do lightly. You have to really work on that one. So, yeah, that's how it works.
Brother, on the friends part, right? Now, I'm not a classist, right? But I do believe that in some parts of your life, I think men should be classist. So, for example, right, I wouldn't, if I had a daughter, I would not allow her to hang out with low value people. And I know that for the fact they are low value, they are scumbags. They come from horrible families. It's unfortunate, but I got to put my children first. So you can't be hanging around with low value people from a different class who will drag you down in their life, because they may see you be successful. You come from a great family, and they come from a horrible family. And Bobby, you know what that saying is, misery loves company. They want to drag you down with them. You ain't dragging my kids down anywhere. I'll cut that ish off like a mofo. Ain't that right, Theo? Break it out for me, bro.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So when I was growing up, I was allowed to be with Japanese and Asian students. And then I was allowed to be with middle class Americans who had like proper background. I was not allowed to be with anyone who was poor or a poor mentality. Like, my parents were like hawks on this one. And not only that, they were like hawks with us through the teachers. So if they identified someone they thought was low value, that was my communication with them was not going to happen. Just the way my parents were. And my parents were pretty much like racism towards black people should not be an issue I have to deal with until I'm in university. And you might think that's, yeah.
What does that mean?
That means that when I'm growing up, I was to study, learn, grow, but that no child should have to be dealing with racism. And they said that's something for later, but not as a child. I highly agree with my parents on this one. This is one area where I think they got it right. And for the most part, if I was having an issue with racism, I just tell my parents about it and they just took care of it. Like it was not in front of me at all. Or if it was even a little bit, they just removed it. And they're like, ain't gonna happen. And to be honest, which is I thought this was actually kind of interesting. The worst issues with race were from Black people. So they were basically like, hey, you're going to use the N-word around my son? Okay, you're gone. We're going to get rid of you. I could give you one example of this when I was in high school, because my parents knew the principal and the supervisors in the high school. So I was in PE class, and of course I'm exercising with other Black students, right? And they were those students happened to be poor, and they didn't like that I was so educated, and they said, we're going to make an N-word out of you.
Whoa.
And yeah, so I just went to the disciplinarian and I talked to the principal at the same time, and I said, these are the guys who did it, this is what's going on here, and I don't like the situation. Well, they knew my parents. They were expelled. It's done. They were just thrown out of the high school. They had to go to high school someplace else. That's how fast that crap happens. So you have got to have that degree of protection for the child, so the child doesn't have to deal with racism or various problems regarding growing up as a Black person. I didn't, to be honest. My responsibility was to study, literally. Like, go study, go read, go do computer programming, go get that, go, I had a paper out, go do your paper out, go work, right? That's what I did. Okay, racism, like, okay, if there's any kind of like, okay, I couldn't even listen to Public Enemy when I was growing up, anything like that. Like Janet Jackson, that was, okay, Michael Jackson I can listen to, like any kind of blues or something like that I can listen to, but hip hop, oh, forget it. Rap music, nope, it did not come into my house. It wasn't until I was in university that I can do that. Public Enemy, I like them. Nope, I could not listen. So when I was with my friends, I was able to listen to it, right? But in terms of the house, no, that stuff did not happen. So again, that's how the parents are. They're putting that structure in there, and that really goes a long way to filtering out not only class issues, but ratchet Black culture issues that come in. And it also prevents your child from being called the N-word on a consistent basis, especially because the parents are there, they're talking to the teachers. That ain't gonna happen. Nope. No. There's a lid on that. That stuff happens. If you're talking like that being an issue, that's usually an issue in the public schools where the parents and the teachers don't give a crap about you. That's where you don't send your kids. No, that does not happen. Nope. Send them to private schools. That's where everybody's watching what you do. Get some nuns out there. Yeah, like nuns are like, I don't need the principal's permission to spank you. I could spank you right here in class, so I don't like what you're saying. Oh, okay. That's how that works.
Awesome, bro. So solutions here. So I'd say running through before we start reacting. First one, okay, Theo's mentioned some solutions there, such as myself too. But I would say make sure you marry a woman from a two-parent household, and you know her parents are serious people.
Yes.
I would not marry a single mother. I would not marry a woman that came from a single mother household or a single father household. You are an idiot to do so. In that right, Theo?
No single mothers. None. Avoid at all costs. Do not date them at all. Zero. No, sir. No. Don't do it. Like if you find it happening, wake up from your nightmare, okay? Because you're not doing that.
Don't do it. But let's say you're seeing a woman, right? She comes from a single father household. How would you feel about that, brother?
A single father household? Yeah, okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're usually, they know what's going down. Yeah, they're fine. Single mother household, that's the problem. Yeah, you don't want that. Nope.
Brother, I know you're a private school advocate, but I've heard some dodgy things about private school brother. Obviously, they're better in public schools, but there's still some things that you got to be aware of in private schools. Feel I'm sure you know what it is. How would you have you thought about dealing with that? How would you deal with it? Break it down for us, Feel.
Make sure there's a wide selection of private schools from which to choose. If you don't like what's going on in one private school, send the kid to another one. You're going there. So yeah, that's the way that works. And again, I saw one comment in there and saying some people don't have the option. Yeah, you do. It's like saying you don't have, like women saying they wish they had the option regarding having the father of their children. Of course they have the option regarding the father of their children. You have the option regarding where your child is raised by refraining from any shagging or clapping cheeks in the West. If you're not clapping cheeks in the West, there'll be no kids in the West for you. So if you're going to clap cheeks, go to another country, then you're going to be involved in the educational process there for your children. Don't clap cheeks in the West. It solves a lot of problems.
Awesome, thanks. So next point. So don't take any disrespect or any rudeness from your daughter. Cut that down immediately. No back talking, no shouting towards you. You let her know that's not flying in your household in any shape or form. A lot of parents nowadays are too lenient on their daughters. Always a phase. It may be a phase, but it will get worse and worse. And the disrespect that happen towards you as a man. Never allow your daughter to disrespect you in any shape or form. You cut that out ASAP in the right field.
Both kids, both son and daughter. Yeah. Yeah. The Cosby Show is a great example of this. People don't like one guy in there. That's fine. But they showed an excellent illustration of how to be proper parents. And you have two parents who are looking at their kids like, remember, we put you in this world, we can take you out. And the kids know their position inside the house. You have to have that mentality towards the kids. My parents had that towards me. Again, even when I was growing up, I understood it. I didn't resent it. And as I grew older, I'm like, yeah, that was exactly correct. Yeah, I agree with that.
Facts, absolute facts, man. And obviously make sure the woman you marry comes from a conservative culture. Her parents are conservative. Her parents think right. Look at their philosophy of life. Look at how they live life to her parents. That's how you know you've got a good woman. Okay, if the parents are still together, they're conservative. They speak about they're very wise in certain aspects. They're still in the daughter's lives. They care for the daughter. That's what you want to marry as a woman to raise your kids. Very important, brothers, because this is not a game anymore, man. We're getting older every year, every second. We don't get younger. We only have one life, so don't mess up. Please pick the right person in the right field.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's again something I have to be working on as well. You really do have to work and make sure. Remember, take a second breath when you see the booty. Take a step back and remember your principles. And she can be beautiful. She can be great. But guys, this is the criteria that I have when I meet a woman. I just say, if that woman had half of your assets, half of your cash flow, she had taken the kids, and then she is being ran through in your house by a Pookie, is she worth this next date? And always think of that when you're trying to date her. So you see this beautiful woman and you're like, oh yeah, you're great. Wow, you look great. Oh, wait a minute. No, you're not the kind of woman I want to pay for, like, finance Pookie running through you. Nah, this ain't gonna happen. You're not worth it. And if you think that way, yeah, you gotta protect yourself against making bad decisions.
Facts. Awesome. Shout out to the brother, Quiet Storm DJ for the support. Much appreciated, brother. Salute to you, IP and Theo. Just wanted to tap in. Thank you, bro, for the support. Much appreciated, bro. Awesome. Sophia, any closing comments before we start writing some clips?
Thank you, Quiet Storm. That was really nice of you. He was also I was on 2 other streams over the weekend, so he was also super chatting there. So that's really, again, really appreciate it. Guys, you're always going to have an issue with the daughter, right? Because you know what's going on. I always say your daughter goes from your precious little princess at 12 years old, and within 10 years, she's basically hitting her sexual prime, and she's wanted by the entire planet. And you have 10 years. That's it. And it's going to happen at any time. Whereas your sons, you don't have to worry about that. In 10 years, he's going to be a goofball. Nothing's going to be happening. So I would say, regarding your daughter, have confidence, love her, make sure she's properly supported, educate her, give her options, respect her, invest in her. And she's going to turn out to be the kind of wonderful daughter that you've always wanted. But number one, again, trust her, and then don't have her in the West. All right? Things will work out well then.
Amazing. That was great, man. Amazing, Theo. Amazing. And brothers, believe in God for her to have that guidance in life, man. It's very important, because it's not a game. It's not a game. All right, let's react to some clips here. Okay, so Theo, the first one, okay, is a very interesting clip. Okay, let's go for this one over here.
Going viral online of a dozen women being asked the following question: do we need men? Most answered very quickly, no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives. Only one. So why do you think that is?
Because men are useless. I mean, broadly speaking, I feel like men have proven largely useless.
Number one, don't listen to this frickin' drizzle. Like, all men are useless, so if all the men disappeared in the world, what would happen? Women would thrive? No. You guys would have a much, much, much worse existence. And that goes for men, too. If there were no women in the world, we would have a frickin' whack existence. So trust me, we need each other. Don't let them fool you on this one. Men need women and women need men.
Break it down for us, Phil. What's your thought there?
I would say, to the women who think that they don't need men, cool. Continue on that way. Whatever that leads you, I wish you the best of luck.
Do you know what, Phil? I think it's very alarming that, this is a very popular TV show, and they can say this about men on Broad Daylight, but we never see any TV shows like this that are male-centric on national TV, where they can say, do we need a woman, Phil? So that should tell you the attitude that West women have towards men. And this is actually sponsored by the corporate powers that be. So there's a lot of hatred, a lot of anger towards men in the corporate world and amongst Western women, Theo, right? To the point where they can say that they don't need men. So, but I look around me in my apartment now. My laptop in front of me, okay, is a Toshiba laptop, okay, created by a Japanese man. Awesome. The car outside that I don't drive, but all the cars on the road, most likely, okay, were created, okay, by, men, okay. Facebook, a man. Instagram, a man. So, Phil, so we definitely need men, but Phil, do we need women, Phil? Brother, in this world, brother, what's your thoughts? Do we need women?
Hold on. Regarding what the men are doing, yeah, men are creating the structure, foundations, infrastructure, law, all that kind of stuff for society and civilization. And without the men, you start having chaos real quick. That's just the way it is. Shout out to BGS real quick. He's in the chat again, my mentor. Thank you very much for being here. He brings up a very good point. All those women who say they don't need men, they're all married. Now, if you look at some of the things that they've been saying about their husbands, they even say about their husbands they don't need their husbands. Especially that one, I forgot what her name is, but I don't remember now. But I know she said that about her husband more than once. Do we need women? That's the question. I would say, look at where you want to go in life, and look at how life is designed. And do you really want to go through your entire life alone? And just think about it, and think about what that kind of journey is. Now, I understand when you're younger, that's one thing, but I mean, I'm in my 50s right now, and going through alone is not the easiest thing in the world. So I would, again, you need to ask that question for yourself. Do you really want to go through life alone? It's a lot more enjoyable when you have two. Just saying. It's just, life is a lot more enjoyable. It's very fun. It's a lot. It's a pretty good ride. I have two dogs. When there's only one dog in the house, that dog misses the other dog. The dogs do better in groups. And something I've always said to people is that we are mammals, and mammals are designed to be in groups and to be in hierarchies. And if you don't think that you're a mammal, then what are you in the animal kingdom? Are you like a lizard or bacteria or a plant? Like, where are you? I mean, are you a robot, something like that? Because I don't know where you are, because mammals group up and they form families. So what are you exactly? I've had a lot of Western women hate me for that statement. So I would just think about it. That's all. Just be honest with yourself. Where are you doing best?
Facts. Yeah, I definitely do agree. Men need women, women need men. That's how it should be. But please go for foreign chicks and don't date a West woman ever again in your entire lives. That's how it should be.
Yeah. It just, life is kind of fun with somebody around. That's all I can say. It's definitely fun to have a woman around. I'll say that. And whenever I think about Japan, Yukiko is the center of that, of all the experience. Yeah. So if I say, like, would my life have been better in Japan without her? I say nope. No. It was pretty good with her.
Facts, bro. Facts. Okay, next one to react to, video file. So let's react to this one over here. And this video here shows you what West women really want. And it's going to be a great breakdown here. Okay, let's go. So this clip here, right, shows a 6'8" guy getting cold approached by Western women in the West. Now, there's obviously a running statement on this channel where I say, West women want a 6'5" guy 6 businesses, social clout, etc., for her to actually take you seriously. And this guy embodies that, okay? This guy is 6'8". He has women staring at him, women cold approaching him, women complimenting him, okay? This is what women want in the West. Now, the average guy ain't 6'8". And this is why I'm telling you, brothers, to get your passport. Because if this is what the average woman in the West wants, I'll be real with you, I can't compete. Other brothers can't compete. There's no point staying in the West, bruv. Leave the West to brothers like this. Now, I'm happy for this brother, Theo. He can have all the women he wants in the West. I don't care. Okay? He can stay in the West too, right? But this video here is showing you that women do cold approach men that they find attractive. This guy is 6'8", and women have been eyeing him up all night, going towards him, complimenting him, and it is insane to see. Okay? One other point for you, right? The nightlife in the West shows you the true nature of Western women. Okay? That's where looks matter, height matters, and we are seeing it in real time here. It is shocking, but it's also real. Break it down for us, Phil. What's your thoughts here, bro? Crazy.
My thought is, of course, I mean, for my brother who is 6'8", good for you. And I mean, I support you in what you're doing. For the women, I always say, if he pairs up, he's only with one woman. So can you retain him? That's the only question I have. Can you retain him? Because you can get him for a night, but can you keep him? And I doubt you can keep him. And your issue should be, you should be like, okay, well, I'm going to go to a country where the average height of the women is 5'2" or 5'3". So if you're 5'9", or like on me, I'm 6 feet tall, then you have the same kind of height difference like this guy has, but you're just doing another country. And then the women will also talk to you. Like when I'm in Japan, I don't have the cold approach. Really, the women usually approach me. I don't have an issue. This is kind of fun. When I was in Brazil, the women came up to me. I rarely had to come up to a woman. So that's what you want to do. Then you get the woman that you want, and then you just forget about this kind of situation, and you make your kids, you make your family, and then later on, the girls, they're talking about how minute-ish they can't do that. They can live without a man, blah blah blah, and you have your family. You have your dogs, your house, your kids, your beautiful family. You don't care what they say. So you want to be in that situation. You want to be where you have yourself established, not really being interested in what other people don't have, because that's on them.
Facts, bro. And that's why, it's not lame to be a passport, bro. Go to where the market suits you. Okay. So basically, right, I know for a fact that, it'll be hard to compete against a 6'8" guy that is literally he's jacked, he's ripped, he's tall. A lot of women are definitely eyeing him up. I can't compete with that. Okay. So why waste your time in the West, brothers, with women who are that superficial? They don't care about his personality, how he treats them. They only care about his looks. Okay, he fits the ideal type for him. Okay, so go abroad. Go abroad to where things favor you. I doubt this guy will be a passport, bro. Brother, he's so successful, Theo. There's no point for him traveling. Brother, I'm happy if he runs through all the chicks in the West, brother. I don't care. Okay, I'm a passport, bro. I'll be in a different country and I'll do my own things abroad. Okay. So another point, Phil, is that when women say in the West that they love black guys, okay, when Western women say that, hey, she loves black guys, that's the type of black guy she wants. She wants that kind of black guy, 6'8", ripped, jacked. And the average black guy is not 6'8" and that guy. They want that type of black guy. I'll keep it real with you. He's a prototype black guy the West woman who likes black men loves in the West, Theo. Do you agree or disagree, Theo?
I would say definitely, yeah. To that, I mean, as I've grown up, of course, I mean, those kind of guys are actually rather popular. Now they're really popular as boyfriends and side guys, but as husbands, no, they're not. But in terms of, one night, of course, those guys are very popular.
Okay. Yep. I also agree with that. So, brothers, get your passport, man. Get your passport, because women were approaching him in the West, brothers, in America. When was the last time you were approached in the West, Theo? 30 years ago? 25 years ago?
Well, I mean, when I got Chewbacca, he approached me in the farm. So when I saw him originally, he came to me. I didn't go to him. So I mean, with Chewbacca, I mean, I was approached, but that's about it. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. But again, I like what BGS is saying. If they were worth having, then I would compete for them, and I agree with that. This is something I want to say real quick. None of the women that I saw approaching this guy were the types of women that I wanted.
Mm.
So in that case, I don't care. And then later on in life, these are the women who are going to be wanting you to step up because, she's a single mom. She let him hit it raw, and now she's a single mom, right? So I've seen this too many times. I've just seen it again and again and again. I don't care. When the woman says, like, this crying song, I'm like, I know who you were with. I know the type. I know what went down. You had your education, your freedom. You made that choice. Now you're a single mother. I'm not going to deal with you. And this is why I say, guys, don't deal with single mothers, because with their dual mating strategy, they want to get knocked up by a guy like this, and then they want your money and time and effort and intelligence to actually raise his child. So don't deal with that. Just say, no, man, I'm gone. Go to the West. Done. Sorry,
Facts.
Leave the West, and then you're done.
Absolute facts, bro. Absolute facts. But last point here. When I was abroad, I felt exactly how that feel. I experienced this feel when I'm in the middle of Shibuya, right? Women was looking at me, I'm looking at them. It felt good. Feel I keep it real. It felt good, and
Yeah.
I want to experience it again very time soon, brother. I'll keep it real.
Yeah, I don't even mind. Because think about it. Okay, we're talking about Shibuya, right? These women, let's imagine that these women are in Shibuya, and of course there's tens of thousands of Japanese women around, and that you are there. Would you be looking at these women, or would you be looking at the Japanese women?
Japanese chicks.
Of course. So why should we be thinking about the choices that the Western women are pursuing when our choices exclude these women in the first place?
Facts, bro. Facts. Absolute fact. And I don't even think Asian chicks care about height like that, particularly in Japan, from what I saw.
They do, but we're so much taller from the beginning, from the get-go. It's not an issue. It's win for us, so that's fine. I don't mind. I mean, Yukiko was 5'3". I mean, she was 5'3" on a good day. She wore little heels on her, right? I mean, but I didn't care. She was cute. I was nearly a foot taller than her, right? She's cute. I don't care. When I was with her, I didn't even acknowledge the existence of Western women. They were, I was happy.
Awesome. All right. So next one to react to, move from studio, present video file. Okay. So let's react to this one over here. This one.
Why high-value men think that hard-working women, like entrepreneur women, are complicated in real life, and why do they not date them? Let me explain my what I'm saying. I was talking with a friend of mine yesterday, and I was like, I struggle finding a man who's gonna accept that I'm self-driven, that I go to the gym every morning, that I run my own business, that I'm a consultant, that I'm intelligent, that I have multiple degrees, an MBA and so on, that I work a lot on myself, that I do self-development, and I struggle finding someone who has a business as well, who is self-driven, who is good-looking, and I think that they're all looking for dumb girls. I'm sorry to say that, but just simple girls. Girls who are just like employees, barely working or something. And my friend told me, you know what? It's because those men are working hard during the day and they are afraid that at the end of the day, they will have a woman competing with her, with them. Like talking about business at the end of the day. Or, you know, like too intelligent and trying to confront them at some point. And I was like, no way, I'm competing with myself all day long. I'm competing with my clients. I'm competing with my competitors all day long. I work hard. Whenever I go back home, I want peace. I want cuddles. I want love. I want sex. I want, you know, I want something. I just want a connection with the person I love. So this is a misconception you have, maybe because I'm a hypersensitive person.
Oh my goodness. Theo, break it down for us, brother.
Okay, this is a long explanation. She is in a particular situation right now. So this is Eastern European. It's hard to tell what country she's from. I'm thinking that she is from Galicia, actually. So she is from Western Ukraine, to southern Poland, to Belarus, to maybe the Baltic states. That's the geographical area right around there. That just from the way she's talking and her accent. That's my first point. So I'm gonna explain this from that point of view. Those women in those areas, they do have their own businesses sometimes. They do go out and make money on their own. But when they go home, they do not bring their work home with them. They go home, they make cookies, they make borscht, they cook from scratch, and they actually want a man to cuddle them and exactly what you're saying. She wants to be done by her husband. That's entirely Eastern European woman point of view, particularly from the Western Ukraine. And her dilemma is is very similar to the Western man who says he's a good man. Why aren't I having these women? Why are these women going for the 6'8" black guy? Well, her problem is she considers herself to be a good woman. Why are other men who are successful like myself, why are they going out for 5'2" bimbos in other countries when she is available and she would rather have somebody like me who's successful to be with her and make a family with her? That's what's going on here. It's a legitimate concern. And there's a lot of women like this. I've been seeing this in the manosphere, but as I grow older and talk with this, there's actually a group of women like this who are actually very family oriented, who are going to die alone, and they're not going to have any opportunity. The reason for this is that Western boss babes have ruined the image and the narrative of Western women so badly that most Western men who are successful, including myself, will not give this kind of woman, this Eastern European woman, an opportunity to have a relationship. We're done. We're not even going to entertain it. And this is where they have a problem, because they're like, hey, I was doing all this stuff. I wasn't getting run through. I'm not a Western woman. I wasn't getting run through by guys. I was very family oriented. I still talk with my parents. They live like same apartment complex or right down the street. I'm not like that. I want family. Where are you? Choose me. It's a complicated situation. So for her, I would say learn how to smile more. Don't have your glasses on. This is one thing that's bad for her, that she's not being communicative like that. She actually needs to show her eyes. It would go a lot further. actually have her hair not pulled back, but actually in front, look like an approachable woman, smile more, be more feminine, and eventually guys will start approaching her because she's beautiful. That's what we do by nature. We actually approach beautiful women, right? The way that she's acting right now, she's acting from the point of view of fear. So it's kind of like if we see that black man who's 6'8", and we see all the women going towards him, us who aren't 6'8", I'm definitely not 6'8", might act in a different way because we're watching this happen, right? Well, she's acting in a different way in the same manner. She's acting in a different way because she's seen guys go for the Thai girl who's 5'1". She's like, hey, I'm here. She needs to forget about that and say, I'm a successful and more importantly, I'm a beautiful, loving, nurturing woman. I'm here. I've got curves and I want to talk with you. If she acts like that, number one, which is her strongest position, if she puts that out there first, she's going to get a guy. But what she's putting out first right now is fear. And fear will never start a relationship ever. So she needs to stop that. Be strong, confident, lovely, beautiful woman. Guys will go for her.
Theo, would you wife her up?
If one guy from the chat is saying she's 40, if she's 40, it's over. I don't know, man. It matter on some things. I don't know. I haven't seen her in a black dress. So, that's all I have to say. I don't know. Put her into a black dress and do her up and see how she acts. That's what every man's gonna think at the beginning. Let's go there, right? I just want to say this too. You guys were on this clip. There are a lot of Eastern European single mothers who have the exact same opinion that this woman does, and they don't have any guys hitting on them because a lot of guys in a lot of Slavic guys are totally red pill, so they aren't even entertaining single mothers. So I always say in the Slavic countries, the best birth control for women is to become a single mother. No clapping cheeks after that. So the women come out and they say, I'm a good mother. I'm doing all this stuff. Please date me. I'm available. I've seen it on TikToks, YouTube videos, VK, boards in Russian and Ukrainian. I actually definitely read this from the women saying this. I read it in their own language. And they have the exact same problem. They don't understand why guys aren't going for them. And I would say no, don't date them. But at least they have this mentality. They're like, I really want a man. I want a man to be with me.
Interesting. This is a very interesting clip. She appears to be a decent woman, but obviously the actions of Western women have spread towards her and other women who are of the same ilk. And I think she has to call out Western women for poisoning the well. It is what it is, It is what it is.
But you see, also, let me just say this one point before you continue on. During the Soviet Union, this kind of woman would have a husband because it didn't matter. So maybe her husband is a truck driver. I'm honest. I'm not joking, because in the Soviet Union, her salary and his salary would be the same. So she wanted to have a man, even if he was a truck driver. It didn't matter. She'd go get her man because at least she has one. Particularly after the war, she actually has a man. That was the wealth, was to have a man. Slavic women do not go around saying they don't need a man. They're not that stupid. They say they need a man. A lot of them say that because they know what life is like without one. So this woman understands that she needs a man. She's in a she's in a transitional economy, and she doesn't have access to the Western men that she wants. And now she's in a bad situation.
Damn. It is what it is. Okay. All right. So next one to react to. Present video file. Okay, so let's react to let's see this clip over here. Okay, let's react to this one over here.
Deal breakers while dating in my 50s. I'm adding to my list of deal breakers while dating in my 50s. Leave me a comment. Tell me if you think I've gone crazy or if I'm being too picky. All based on situations I have experienced. I understand 1 or 2 ex-wives. It's a deal breaker after 3 and 4 and 5 ex-wives. I know it's always her fault. I get that. I understand. I hear you. But that's a big no for me. 2, you're still living with your ex-wife and you want to date me? I know what you're going to say. You split up, you got divorced, the housing market was really tough. No, I'm good. The third one I have really personally wrestled with, but I finally reached the point where I put this on my list of deal breakers. I've raised my kids, they're all in their 20s, and I don't want to go back to assisting a man I am dating with raising their minor child. Men I'm dating are in their 50s and they have kids who are under the age of 10. And that's great for them. It just doesn't work for me. What do you think? Am I being too harsh?
Oh, I'll tell you what I think. I don't think. I don't know any dude that is considering dating a 57-year-old chick in 2024. Even dudes that are 55, that are 50, they're going for women that are much younger than them. So I don't know what kind of options he's got, but it's sounding like a bit of cap over there. Number 2, sorry. What is wrong with, a guy in his 50s raising a child that is very young, that's 8, 5, whatever? What's wrong with that? So her requirements are a bit trash, you know. She is 57, okay? She's way past her prime. She has no audacity to be saying these kind of requirements in any shape or form, okay? No. It doesn't work like that, okay? 57, dudes are not going after a over 50-year-old chick. Even dudes that are 60 wouldn't even date a 55-year-old chick. They'd be after 40-year-old chicks, 45-year-old chicks, 30-year-old chicks. And this just shows you the entitlement of the West right now in regards to Western women. How women are moving, what they're saying. It's all a bunch of BS, man. All a bunch of BS. Break it down for us, Theo.
Okay, so she was thinking like, she was like, what do we suggest, right, for her? I'm 50. What? I'm like, introduce me to your daughter in her 20s. I want to talk to her. So I'll date her instead. I'm sure people would hear that. I don't care. That's who I would actually date is her daughter. She's a Gen Xer. I'm a Gen Xer. The way she's thinking is extremely Gen X. So I get her point of view. We're not like the boomers. We're always going to stay in a different kind of thinking. So I get how she's coming for her point of view. She's not recognizing the market, but there probably is some other Gen Xer maybe that would want to wife her up. Something like that. I could actually see that happening. It's not likely, but I could actually see it because of her mentality. This woman is not old mentally. She's very young inside of her head. To her, it's still the 80s. The 80s never stopped. I would say for myself as well. The 80s, early 90s never stopped for me. So she's in that group. Like, she's going to think in a certain way. I respect it. She's talking about different kind of guys. At least she's having guys who are still going for her. She should probably try to work something out with a man and try to get a relationship going. Just because, I mean, we're getting Gen X, our relationships were so whack in the first place. She needs to get something quick, right? But we tend to be like the meh generation. We don't care, and she can go all the way to death without having somebody, and she'd be just fine with that. That's how we are. So okay, I get her. I get her position.
Okay, interesting. Thank you, Theo. All right. Shout out to Mr. Josh John. Shout out to Josh John for the support. Welcome back, bro. Salute IP and brother Theo. I'm headed out to the Baltics this October. Can you put me on some game, Theo, in terms of approaching and dating Latvians?
Smile and have a pulse. Then if you see a Latvian or a Lithuanian that you like, walk up to her and say hi. That's it. It's one of my favorite places for cold approach. You really can't go wrong. You don't need much more than that.
Also, watch the streams I did 2 years ago on Latvia.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, watch IP streams. There's a lot of information there, but though I always say just walk up and they're not going to shoot you down. They're going to be kind of happy that this African American guy is actually talking to her. She's gonna at least be interested because you're so rare in that area. So just go talk to her.
Awesome. Thank you, Theo. Okay, so next one to react to, okay, is this clip, okay? So where is she? Okay.
You should suck that. That's it.
Okay, so I know that you're single, but what do you think is the best way for a woman to keep a man?
That's very simple. You should cook for him, clean for him. I mean, when he comes back home, the house has to be clean, the dinner has to be ready. Let me tell you something. Whenever he's home, in the morning, in the evening, or during even the lunchtime, you should suck that. That's it. Wow.
Foreign chick for the win. This is why we're passport bros. So you so you heard that foreign accent, brothers, and that's how it is when you go abroad. Simple, straight to the point. They know what you want, etc., and they will give you peace. Now, can you imagine a Western chick speaking like this? Can you imagine a Western chick, an American chick, saying these same exact words in 2024? It's like finding a diamond on the planet of Mars. Near impossible, literally impossible. Okay, this is why we are pushing the passport bro movement worldwide. So you are an IT bro. You've completed my Python courses. You completed Theo's cloud courses. You got an IT job. Okay, you worked hard in the office. You come back home, and this woman here, like her, is waiting for you with food ready and ready to get on her. And yeah, look at that for us, Theo. What's your thoughts?
This is funny. I like this. Is kind of funny. Okay, you remember that video that we just had of the 6'8" black man? This is what the Western women are doing for him. So trying to get him, they're cold approaching him, and this is their actions with that guy. They only say that they were abused, treated badly, blah blah blah, when those actions are unable to retain him. That's it. I have talked with too many Western women to deny the accuracy of that statement. So what I always say is go abroad, because this kind of woman abroad will be very happy with you. She knows how to treat you. You're going to be taken extremely well aware of. I mean, unbelievably well. And yeah, let's just say that your stomach's going to be full and something's going to be empty. All right. That's it.
Hey.
You're going to be treated very well. And this is your channel. I'm trying to be as polite as I can. So, I just the way it is. So go abroad and you'll have a good time.
Hey, Theo. So, where's that accent from? Is that a Japanese accent, Theo? Is that a Brazilian accent, Theo? Is that a Colombian accent?
I can't tell. I'm thinking that's northern. Like this is above Brazil. I'm thinking that's definitely not Asian. The cheeks and the eyes aren't Asian. So I mean, if that is Asian, I'm like, is that a mix, like Latina Asian mix or something like that? This looks like something above Rio, something like that. But I could be totally wrong. I mean, this is what I think it is.
She sounds Eastern European, but she may be South American.
That's not Eastern European. Nope. That's
It's
not a
not?
Slav.
Okay.
Nah, not a Slav. Nope. I know Slav just from their cheek structure. I can identify a Slav real quick, and then how she's talking. She's too warm to be a Slav. That's culture. Everything coming out of her, she's emanating culture from her. That's a Latina.
Damn. Oh, okay. Fantastic. Get your passport, brothers. Get your passport. All right. So next one to react to, me from Studio IP. So Theo, we got the biggest streamer in the world, right? You know, with a foreign chick, but this is going to be good news for passport bros, Theo. So let me show you right now. Okay, this one will be here. Okay.
How much should I give her? How much should I give her? How much should I give her?
I don't need money. Hold my hand.
What?
I don't need money. Hold my hand. That's it. That was smooth.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I don't need no money. I got speed.
Damn. One more time for the culture.
How much should I give her? How much should I give her?
I don't need money. Hold my hand.
What?
I don't need money. Hold my hand. That's it. That was smooth.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I don't need no money. I got speed.
Wow, Theo, that is the world's biggest streamer right now, Theo. No cap, okay? He is the biggest live streamer in the world. And it sounds to me, Theo, he's officially a passport bro. That chick right there is South Korean, Theo.
Exactly. Okay? That was Korean. I knew she was Korean. Mm-hmm. I knew exactly. That's why I was smiling. That's a Korean right there.
So, Theo, in your days, right, you mentioned how you were having struggles with getting a Korean chick. But fast forward to 2024, it appears that Korean women are becoming more open towards brothers. It's a miracle, Theo, because you know, we thought it would never happen, Theo. We thought it would never ever happen. But we have the world's biggest streamer with an East Asian, South Korean chick, Theo. So Theo, this is very big, Theo, because young black men are seeing this and they're thinking, whoa, that can be me. Young East Asian chicks are thinking, oh, wow, okay, maybe it's time to consider brothers. Maybe it's time to look at black men and give them a chance. There's something special about black men, okay? You know, Theo, is that a fair statement there, Theo? brother.
I don't know. I just say this. If a South Korean woman treated, okay, South Korean women act like this. This is why I knew it was South Korean. Her facial structure, the way she does her cosmetic, her hair, the way she looks at them. She'll see how she looks direct, doesn't look to the side. She's very direct. She has no lack of confidence. She's very confident in who she is. She's highly feminine, right? Everything about her, I was like, okay, this is Korean or like Shanghai, something like some sort of like northern Shanghai, something around there. That's what we're talking about. If a Korean woman acted that way towards me, to be done. That's it. 3 months later, I'm wifing her up. That's it. Done. That'd be it'd be game over. I'd be in church every Sunday praising God. I'd officially give my classes over to my students. I wouldn't teach anymore. That'd be it. I'd be gone. That'd be over. That's it. I'm in heaven. Korean women are wonderful guys. I always say that Korean women are for all of time, for all I'm concerned, they're my number one choice.
Wow.
If the question is can you actually get in contact with a woman like this when you're in Korea or anywhere? And it's very rare to meet a Korean woman like this. guys, just want to say, if you're as a passport bro, if you meet a Korean woman like this who treats you this way, understand that she is being sincere. Take her out for pay for everything, pay for every date, take her out, be with her, and have a great time. I would not think that she's only with him for clout. No, that's not it. Clout is a little bit. Remember, she's still in her culture. This is a black guy, so she's got to explain to her father why she's with a black guy, and she's willing to go up to bat to explain this. So there has to be something there. Trust it. Again, if a Korean woman treats you like this, you're in. It's it. You're done. You have hit the lottery. You've won. Measure her ring finger. Go get a ring. Lock her down. You have a wonderful situation.
So Theo, right? After seeing that clip, Theo, okay, of a brother with this South Korean chick that we can see here on the screen, Theo, I want to get 1 million brothers, Theo, to South Korea by the end of 2025, brother, to wife up South Korean chicks like her, brother.
No.
Is that possible, Theo?
No. I would no. If we got 100 guys, I would say even 50 to wife up Korean women. Amazing. That's how hard Korea is. So if you're able to get it, you've won. What I would say this, you should probably be going for another Asian nationality, so Japan, Philippines, Thailand, something like that, Cambodia, Vietnam. Go for those women. And while you're pursuing those women, if a Korean woman appears and she gives interest to you like that, then divert your attention over to her. Outside of that, man, it's unless you have some sort of inside game that I do not have. I can't advise you on. You have some sort of knowledge, like this is the secret spring of the Korean women who really like black guys. Unless you got something like that, don't do it. If you do, go right for it.
Wow. Theo, I was in South Korea last year and I left with a bad taste, Theo. Don't know what I did wrong, or maybe because I'm a dark-skinned black man, or maybe I wasn't there long enough, but I did amazing in Japan, Theo, but South Korea wasn't really popping off for me. I don't know what happened there, but to see that black guy do well in South Korea gives me some hope. Okay, so maybe I go to tackle Korea again in the future, and face it properly, and maybe get a dime, half Japanese, half Korean chick, half black chick, brother. Wipe up.
No, understanding Korean culture is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I know it because I've spent years with Koreans, so I understand their thinking. I still have a lot of Korean friends. I understand what they're doing, their point of view. I view them very much as being my brothers, to be honest. All of my IT career, so many of those kind of points when I was studying in university was with Koreans. So I really like them. So you just have to understand her point of view. That's it, and see whether or not it's possible. If you can, great. But I would just say probably they're just too short. Got to go there for a longer period of time. I'll say this real quick. If you are, I don't know where you are. Don't say where you are in the UK. But if you can find a Korean church, go there. And actually go to church services with Koreans. And you'll start seeing something very different about them. And then they might invite you over for dinner. Go do that. And then actually eat at their table and talk with them about what they do in life. Then you'll get it. This is something I would recommend, and even in the UK. That's what I did in the States. Learned a lot about Koreans. I also did that in Russia and France. So, just my little suggestion. That's all.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Thank you, Theo, for that tip there. But I want to see more black women. I want to see more black women with South Korean chicks, Theo. We got to make it happen. We need to make it happen, Theo, because It has happened. Has happened, man.
I wish. I mean,
Maybe.
I really wish I could be more positive and say, oh yeah, this is the secret way of doing it. This is like the secret handshake, and this is how you get her. I can't say that with Korean women. I really can't. I really wish I could, because again, like I said, they're my first choice. If I could, like, you should see me in my office right now. Okay, so in front of my computer right here, there's images of Korean women. I'm not going to say who they are, but that's who they are. So over to this direction, there are blondes. The blondes are here, and then the half Japanese girls are in the other room. And then right here in front of me, when I look up, I'm looking at a Korean woman. I'm actually looking at 3 Korean women. So Korean women for me have always been the number one choice. It's just that I'm realistic. The likelihood of getting one is very low, extremely low. But if I could, that's it. 3 months, boom, wife it, done. Right into the sunset, bibimbap, kimchi, and like 3-4 kids. I'd die happy.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you, Theo, man. All right, next one to react to. Present video file. Okay, so let's react to this one over here.
Your life is going right now. I feel like I'm gonna be single for a long time. Like a long time. I literally just cannot stand. I cannot stand these vanilla ass men. You're boring. You don't intrigue me. And at this point, I'm like losing faith in all men. I just feel like they all want one thing. And if that's what you want, I'm the wrong bitch. Go somewhere else. I cannot tell another man what I like to do on my free time. I can't do it. And I don't give my attention to anybody. And when I'm finally like, oh, like he's cute, like let me talk to him. You're boring! You're boring! You suck. And I feel like from past experiences, I have the tendency to pick the shitty ones. So like I'm just gonna stay away. I'm done. I'm logging off. No more for Bella right now. And yeah, maybe I do get a little bit jealous when I see couples out in public. I'm like, damn, that looks nice. Haven't had that in a long time. When is it my turn? When is it my turn? At the end of the day, it's not my plan. So we're just chilling.
Break it down for us, Phil. What's your thoughts here?
This is the future for many Western women. We're going to keep on hearing this increasingly more and more throughout the years. Honestly speaking, what I've experienced with them, I have no mercy for them. No compassion, no empathy. They created a system so that this happened. So be it. They had decades of men simping over them to death, doing anything for them, trying to get their attention, love them, listen to them, be compassionate, everything. They had men at their fingertips. They screwed it up, and now they have this situation. So I have no empathy for her at all. Guys, get your passport, go abroad, get that dime chick. Don't even care about that.
Facts there, Theo. You notice how she keeps saying she finds men boring, 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 boring. A lot of these Western chicks are high maintenance, brothers. You gotta be Batman, Superman. You gotta save a building from crashing on the floor. You gotta teleport to Jupiter and save the aliens over there. To teleport back to Earth, then tell her how your day went. Hey, I teleported to Jupiter and saved some aliens over there. That's what they want. You know that's impossible. You know, we're human beings, so they want you to continue keep them happy. It's high maintenance. Do this, do that, do that. Don't be boring. You know, be some sort of special character. What is the point, brothers? What is the point in dating a woman like this, man? Just get your passport, bruv. Just do my Python course, do Theo's car course, and get over with. Break it down for us, Theo.
I totally agree. And for years, I was always trying to figure out how to deal with this kind of woman. There's nothing to be gained here. Nothing at all. For you as an individual, no. There's nothing. This is it's like a black hole, man. Except there's There's nothing in there. Guys, you just don't wait. At bare minimum, do not waste your time on this kind of woman, because that's all you will do is waste time. And then if at the worst case situation, she'll figure out how to siphon off your resources. But you will lose one resource with her from the beginning, and that's time. Don't deal with her. Move on. Improve yourself. Become the best version of a man that you possibly can be. Go abroad. Again, if you're dating a fly Japanese, Colombian, if you're with a Korean, amazingly, you won't even. This kind of woman will disappear from your mind. You won't even think about her ever again.
Facts, absolute facts. Okay, so next clip to react to. Okay, present video file. Okay, we got 5 minutes left, so let's run through the last 3 clips. So this one here, let's run through this one over here. Yeah, this one.
What? Now that I'm really thinking about it, what the fuck is a biology degree? I just graduated with something, and I'm like, what the fuck even is that? What do I even fucking do with that? What does that even say about me? I'm proficient in what? In what exactly? Do you know what I mean? Like when somebody graduates with an economics degree, it's like, oh, they know how like the economy works and like how to like manage finances and like economics and like formulas and like, you know what I mean? Like computer science. I know how to code. What actually do I know? What do I do with that? Everyone else graduating, so happy. Oh my gosh, gonna go straight into like work. What could I ever possibly solo do with a bio degree?
Damn, you know, yeah, again, poor choices by Western women. You know, poor choices in dating, poor choices in you know how they speak to people, how they move, and poor choices in how they go about their education. So again, they come with a lot of baggage. Okay, you know, they come with uncertainty. They come with I went to school and I did liberal arts, or I did some weird degree that it's not even that is basically useless. You know, and you worked hard your whole life. You worked hard during college, and you want to date a woman that didn't take college seriously. So you got to understand, brothers, that women take college as some sort of social area in their life where they can party, sleep around, and do the easiest degrees, right? Just so they can have fun. That's not flying around me, bruv. That's not flying, bruv. These women always pick the wrong choices in every area of their lives. Dating, education, don't date them. Break it down for us, Theo.
Okay, I agree with a lot of what you said. I want to say, okay, first off, again, when I was in university, I knew many women who were absolutely wonderful. I would have really enjoyed dating them, and they were biology majors. And a lot of these women went off and went to med school, did something with medicine. So if they actually do something with the biology major, then the biology major is a good first step. It's like kind of like a poli-sci major, and you go into law afterwards. It kind of makes sense, or an English literature major, but you go into law afterwards. If you do something like that, then it does make sense that you're doing that. So shout out to the women who do biology and then they actually do something with it. What you're seeing here is a Western woman who didn't do anything with a biology major. Nothing. And that's on her. That's it. That's 100% on her. And if she has her, again, she is responsible for her decisions in life, and she needs to make better choices. Like for me, for myself, again, my official 3 majors that I had in university were an undergrad were French, Russian, and economics. I would say that those 3 majors really helped me out for the rest of my life in terms of thinking how to process, and especially for dating, Russian has been amazing, but also ideas and literature. It's in understanding politics. Russian is invaluable. But my minors, finance and computer science, that's what actually where my career was based upon. And I went and continued on with that. And then I did IT, of course, in foreign banks, well, especially in Japan. So you can study it. It really matters what you do with it. That's all. I did something with my majors. She obviously is not. And now she's in a position where she doesn't know what to do with her life. That's on her. So pay back your college loans and go work at a restaurant or something like that. Go figure it out. And then maybe you'll do something.
When I was abroad, Theo, last year, particularly in Japan, and I met university educated chicks or women still going through university, right? Their majors were respectable majors, majors that you can actually do something with, I was like, okay, that's impressive. But you come to the West, you come to the UK, Theo, women are doing all sorts of weird degrees, and I'm like, get away from me. Get away from me.
Yeah.
And then they'll blame the system, they'll blame something else, blah blah blah. How about you do a degree in science, like STEM, like computer science? How about you do a degree in economics? It's a done deal, brothers, man. These women, they ain't about it, brothers. Education wise, dating wise, making poor career choices. You want to date that? Good luck.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one. Yeah, even if the girls, like again, let's talk about Japan. Even if the girls were at junior colleges, it was something that was useful. Or again, I in Russia, in Russia and Ukraine, I knew women who were like English grammar and English translation majors, and that's what they did from undergrad to graduate school. But they're full-on translators afterwards. They're actually making money, $2,000 or $3,000 a month doing that. That's something. They're actually doing something with it. Yeah, in the West, it's almost like they got a degree and then they just think it's like they think their degree lowers their end count by 80% and increases their cup size by a few inches. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, honey. It's not all that.
Facts, bro. Absolute facts. Okay. So Theo, you're okay for 2 more clips, or do you want to wrap up?
Yeah, I'm good. I've had a good day. Anyway, I have to work after this anyway, so I don't care.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so let's react to this one over here. Where is it? This one.
I don't really get political on here, but if this far into 2024, you verbally still say that you're a liberal and you side with the left side and you side with the absolute cockroach in office, respectfully, stay away from me, like within a 10-mile radius. It's one thing to just say, well, like, I'm kind of like, whatever. I don't care about politics. I don't know much about it. I don't read into it. Like, it is what it is. And I respect that to a level, because the way that the economy is, it's like you can't really just kind of say that you're not into it. You don't have to pick a side necessarily, but you can't really see the state of our economy and be like, well, like, you don't need to do much research and education to see that the world is literally crumbling. Not the world, our country is literally crumbling, and it is a laughingstock to every country around us. Like, I think it used to be acceptable to just say, like, I'm kind of neutral, like, I don't really care, and I totally get that. Like, you don't necessarily have to side with Trump and say that he's like the best person ever. Like, I can respect that to a degree, but like, you also can't sit back and just be like, well, I don't know. It's what? Babes, gas used to be $2. Gas is $4. A piece of steak used to be $10. That's now $20. My Chipotle order used to be $9. It's now like $15. People in big cities are literally struggling to survive. Not even in big cities. People like all over the country are literally struggling to survive because wages are not going up, but cost of living is going up across the entire country. And I've never been scared to share my political stance. I've been sharing it since 2020. If you've known me since then or you followed me on social media, you know that I'm very adamant about sharing my political views because I am educated and I do research and I don't bandwagon like the majority of the population does, unfortunately, especially in my generation. But I honestly think that if you are okay with the current stance of our economy, clearly something is not right here. And like, I just don't want to associate with you. Like, there's just no fucking way. Like, what?
So vote Trump. Interesting. Break it down for us, Theo. What's your thoughts here on this clip?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. People have the right in a Western democracy to be indifferent regarding political activities. And if that's a part of their First Amendment rights and their expression of their rights, and so be it. If she's very political on her point of view, and I get it. I understand how she's taking a stance and saying, if you're not taking a stance, you ain't itch, basically. And again, I respect that, but that's kind of a hard stance, and that's hard to build a bridge to people because a lot of people don't care. So, I would say try to learn how to listen to people more, not dictate in that situation. But I don't think she's going to do that. She's young, and that's okay. Being young and passionate is also her right.
I think she's just saying that, Trump may be the guy people have to vote for this time around, Theo. And I think she clearly leans more conservative. Brother, how do you feel about, a Western woman being a Trump supporter, brother, and being conservative, Theo? Is that something that, if it spreads, brother, throughout this year, if a woman are voting Trump and being conservative, should we stop being passport bros and get with women who are Trump supporters, brother, and who are conservative too in the West, Theo?
No, I wouldn't date Trump supporters either. Because all you'd have to go is go to the woman and say, do you agree with no-fault divorce? That's the start. And if she says, I think I want to have no-fault divorce, then we have an issue. Because that's where the resource transfer happens. And it's amazing how many conservative women are suddenly extremely liberal and feminist when it comes to no-fault divorce. So, no, man, just go abroad. I would say for a woman like this, if you get, as somebody says, if you really want to be swimming in the milk like this, okay, fine, go to Japan. She can meet you in Japan or Colombia or Brazil, and then if she wants a relationship, she can have a relationship with you there while she's competing with the natives. That's would be a better position for you. And there's no fault divorce doesn't exist there. Do that.
Great breakdown, Theo. Right, so last clip to react to, from studio. So we'll end it on this one over here. Video file. Let's react to this one here, Theo. And this is a very interesting clip here. Okay, where is it? Okay, this one. Here it is.
Do you kiss on the first date?
Do I kiss on the first date?
Yeah.
I on the first date.
You on the first
I
date.
do on the first date. I also will have sex with someone after 10 minutes of knowing them.
Oh, say like
Ooh, one more time for the culture.
Do you kiss on the first date?
Do I kiss on the first date?
Yeah.
I on the first date.
You on the first
I
date.
do on the first date. I also will have sex with someone after 10 minutes of knowing them.
Oh, say like that.
Whew. And brothers, that is more common than what you think in the West. High body count, high promiscuous rates, women who are in suits, women in your workplace, women who are packing up your groceries. They could very well be this fast and promiscuous, brothers. You know, stop dating and stop marrying Western women. Don't even have sex with them. I'm at a point where don't engage in any sort of relations with them, brothers. You know, it is just nasty, brothers. 10 minutes, the first date. So let's say a woman goes on a first date, right, 10 times a month. Imagine the body count over the past several years of her going on first dates and smashing dudes on the first dates. Imagine the body count of her smashing dudes after 10 minutes of meeting them, brothers. Western culture is degenerate, man. Western culture is degenerate. There's no words to describe it anymore, brothers. It's falling apart, man. It's sickening. You know? And that's why I keep saying to Phil, the internet is, in my opinion, probably the greatest invention of all time. Because it showed us how women really are in real time. Without the internet, you would never see this, you would never know this was happening without the internet, unless rumors were spreading around in your local village or town. Now we see it in 4K, 1080p, 2K. Break it down for us, Phil.
Well, the thing is that this is the type of woman who would choose a bear over a man in the forest, but will let a man hit it raw and after 10 minutes of meeting it. I mean, I gotta look at this. I'm just like, you're a baby mama in training, right? Like, this is it. Like, you're gonna become a single mother. This is not good. Guys, I mean, honestly, why would you ever want to deal with this? I never met one Japanese woman like this, or Russian, Colombian, Brazilian, Ukrainian, Thai, none of them. I have never met a woman like this abroad. No, outside the West. I've never met it. In the UK I did, but not outside the West. Why would you ever want to be with this kind of woman? It doesn't make sense. I don't. That's a woman for the streets. That's a woman who, when she's 36 years old and her options have stopped, she's going to be saying, "Where are all the good men? Why don't you step up for my child?" And I don't know who the father is. I mean, come on, guys. Honestly, don't even consider dating this kind of situation and use your passport. Go to some place where the women respect themselves. And straight out, again, if somebody opposes this and says you can respect yourself and have this kind of behavior, no, you can't. I put my foot down. No, this is not respecting yourself. Having this kind of behavior like this, no. That is not self-respect. This is a lack. This demonstrates a lot of discipline, foresight, and restraint. So you have this kind of person has a problem. This person needs therapy, not a husband or a relationship. Therapy is what's necessary.
Facts, absolute fact. So, Mr. Theo, thank you so very much, Theo. Do you have any closing statements before I let you drop?
Yeah, it was fun today. I had a good time. Talking. I think the point is I would say, guys, raise your family abroad. Do not raise your family in the West. Limit the amount of cultural access you have from the West, and make sure that you are really loving your family, and particularly your daughter. And if you do that, I think you're going to be in a much better situation. And yeah, again, if you could ever find a Korean woman like that, if she doesn't want you, can you text it to her, to me? I'll let you go first, but I mean, that was a wonderful Korean woman. So if you can get a Korean woman, go for it. Anyway, Had a good stream. It's my third one in 3 days. Good job good talking with you, IP, and I will catch you all later. All right.
Take it easy, Theo. Look after yourself. Awesome. All right, brothers, feel free to call in. If you want to chime in about, your worries about having a daughter, now's the time. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes, okay? So, as you know, my Python course has currently ended. I'll be taking in new people in July. Okay, July is when we shall begin the Python course again. Okay, so look out for that. Okay, new people, new vibes. I'll be having new students to teach in July 2024. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, I'm looking forward to teaching you brothers again, and trying to inspire you to get into IT, remote working, traveling around the world, and believing in yourself, brothers. Okay, IT is the best career to be a passport, bro. So don't let the time pass you by. Okay. So I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to call in. If no one calls in, I'm gonna end the stream. There's no point in. Do. All right, call in, brothers. Call in. 5 more minutes. Who is here? Okay. TOD. L in the building. Shout out to L. Thank you, L. Brother, your camera's on. Do you want to leave your camera on? Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up, brother. Camera on. Is that cool? Thumbs up. Okay, awesome, L. Okay. Thumbs. Okay, camera off. Okay, awesome. Let me bring it L in the background. What's going on, L? How you doing, bro?
Hey, IP, you hear me?
Loud and clear, bro. How you keeping, man? Been a minute.
Hey, so I already have a daughter and a son. I had my children when I was in the Army. My daughter was born here in Washington State on base. And then my son was born in Germany. And I tell you one thing, when I had my family in Germany, life was good. Life was good. Just the value. Germany is very family oriented. And, when we left Germany, I think they were about, my daughter's like 4, my son was like 3 years old when we left Germany, but I wanted to go back to Germany so bad for the sake of my family, but the Army wasn't letting me. So I did my absolute best here stateside. And you know what? Here's the thing. I mean, as a father, you stay in your children's lives. You encourage them. You be an influence to them. Right now, my daughter's in cybersecurity. Okay, so all I did was support her. I listened to her, make suggestions, give her wisdom. Same thing with my son. Now, if I had to start all over again right now, having children, I'd be in Asia. Bottom line, I wouldn't do it here stateside. I'm blessed with my children right now because, I went through that process. But if I had to start all over right now, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here stateside. So that's it, bro.
Wow, brother, well done for being a great father. How did you, obviously peer pressure, her friends, social media, the the university campuses, brother, the feminism, how they teach women through there. How did you put that out, brother? You know, and what I'm wishing she was on campus, right? Junior university or college. Hello?
Yeah, she went to community college for her basically basics, and then at that same community college was a regular university, 5 miles down the road. So she stayed at home.
Okay.
So so I was still an influence to her. I would ask her about her day, what she was learning. Just communication, bro. Just communication. Being there. Being there, and then spoiling her as well too on her birthday. I mean, my daughter, her birthdays require a plane ticket and going somewhere. So that's how I did it.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Duck for the support. 1 million browse exiting out the matrix going forward. We have many options overseas. Let's exercise those options. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And speaking about that, Duck is here as well in the background. Let me bring in Duck Dissident in the background. Awesome. What's going on, Duck? How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's up, IP? What's up, guys? I just wanted to chime in. I think one of the last videos you had this woman who was expressing her, her political opinion, and she seems to be conservative. One thing I would just say, just as a word of caution, whether you here or abroad. Now, generally speaking, I mean, you can talk about politics, but like hyper politically active women are a no-go when it comes to relationships. They are not self-aware of the things that are inner working. It's just something you want to be really mindful of. They're kind of like chameleons, but like they mean well. No matter whether you lean left or right, I lean more conservative, but I just know from experience that these type of women, count them as an ally when you're voting and or something like that. But not as for serious material. Very few women who are philosophically conservative actually are hyperactive in politics. They actually want to be wives. They know how to take care of their men. They're not really concerned as much about the big, like all this other stuff that's going on. They are, but they're more concerned about wanting to raise families. And usually these women get married young. If you meet someone that's like, a little, like that's hyperactive politically, um, just be cautious. Just be very cautious. And I also want to add to when Theo was talking about, particularly like, what a Western woman opinion is about with no fault divorce and that kind of stuff. It can be an icebreaker and also to a red flag that you can get, but I wouldn't go that far in terms of politics with a woman. Like you can talk about like current events and stuff, but like very like light. Just don't do it, even if you're passionate about it, because if you're not careful, you'll be interested in her, but for the wrong reasons, right? It just won't last long. That's just my take on that.
Awesome. Thanks, bro. Absolute facts. Okay. So we have no more callers. I want to wrap it up and get some sleep. Do you have any closing statements?
Get your rest, IP. Peace out.
Thank you, Al. Appreciate you, bro. Doc, do you have any closing statements, brother?
No closing statements. Just kind of piggybacking on what you're saying, man. Get you some rest, and yeah, man. This was a good stream tonight, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. It's good to speak to you again, Doc. Have a great week ahead. Brothers, look after yourself, brothers. Python course July 2024. Python course July 2024. Don't you miss that, brothers. Don't you ever miss that, okay? Okay. More details on the way for the Python course. As for now, let me get some rest. We shall speak soon. Peace out.